Here's the thing, not everything new is worth adding to your makeup bag. I just tried out 6 new makeup launches and I want to go through them today and tell you what I think is worth it and what I think you can skip. The first product is the Benefit Mighty Fine Brow Pen. When I saw they came out with this, I was immediately intrigued because I love the NYX Cosmetics Lift and Snatch. It's basically the same as this, but this one is unique because it has the triple tip, whereas the Lift and Snatch from NYX is just a singular. However, that one is a lot more affordable. So I wanted to see how this one compares and is it actually worth more money than the NYX Lift and Snatch. This is the finest triple tip brow pen out there. So it draws on 3 super fine lines in one stroke and it's supposed to mimic real hair. One thing I noticed about these pens, similar to the NYX one as well, is they're kind of finicky. Sometimes they work really well and then sometimes it feels like it's completely empty, but I find you do have to constantly shake them. Unfortunately, it does feel like I'm always replacing the next one. Luckily, it's a little bit more affordable, but it doesn't seem to last that long without kind of drying out or having issues with it, which is really unfortunate because I love these pens for mimicking real hair. One thing I find that works really well when you're working with this type of brow pen is to make sure there's no product on your eyebrows. Like that is key to really having these work well. But one of the best things you can do is just take a little bit of pressed powder and just tap that on your brows to absorb any product on there. This will really just help it from like slipping and sliding around. What I love these types of pens for is the very front piece to give a really natural, fuller look. Let's just see if it even works on my hand. Okay. I'm going to show you that up close. That's with me flicking it 3 times. You can just see it's not coming out that well. And it's definitely not coming out in like 3 individual lines. The first time I used it, it worked really well, but it should last more than 2, 3, 4 times. That's what I think. So see, like if you push hard enough, you can see it actually does look really nice. I don't really like pressing really heavily to get that natural look. You really want to go in very light-handed, but I am going to go throughout my brow just to kind of show you. Okay, definitely started working a little bit better now. You can kind of see. Don't find that it's any easier than the NYX one. I really like the idea of this, but for me, I just don't think it's worth the money. I would honestly just go with the NYX Lift and Snatch. I think it's almost easier having control with just one tip. I find it more precise. And I actually find I have less issues with the Lift and Snatch than I've had with this brow pen. This seems like it should be easier, but I actually find the Lift and Snatch, you have more control over each little stroke. For 38 Canadian dollars, I won't be repurchasing this. I'm glad I tried it, but I think I'm just going to stick with my NYX Cosmetics Lift and Snatch. It's way more affordable. So I just used the e.l.f. Brow Lift to put some shape into my eyebrows. And I will say it does look a lot better already, just adding some shape. Like it does look really nice. You can see compared to this one, it already looks so much cleaner and nicer looking. So just to give it like a fair chance, let's do this one and really see. I also would normally clean up under the brows with a concealer to really help the shape. So let's see if we need to do that. See how that looks so much better? This e.l.f. Brow Lift, oh, I love it. It just looks so good in the brows. I am going to use concealer just so that we can really see what these look like. My favorite way to clean up under my brows with the NARS Pot Concealer. This is in shade Light 2.5. And I'll just sculpt it out. My brows look a little funny right now because I am trying to grow them out. So you do kind of have to clean them up in order to really give it a fair chance. Okay, already that looks really nice. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I really like the way this looks. I think it looks really natural, really nice, but I still stand by what I say. I probably wouldn't repurchase it and I would definitely just go with my classic tried and true, the NYX Lift and Snatch. My next product is kind of an impulse buy. I was checking out, getting some things for Mother's Day from Sephora and I saw this at the checkout and I'm like, I haven't heard a single thing about this product. I'm pretty sure it's new, but I literally haven't heard anything about it, but it looks exactly like something I would want. So I had to buy it. It is the Supergoop Glow Stick SPF 50. I have been struggling so badly with finding sunscreens that don't pill under my makeup. It's so frustrating. If you've ever had that, you know, it's literally the worst because I hate having to take off my foundation and redo it. So this looks like exactly something that I would like and could work for me. I know Supergoop sunscreens are super popular, so I wanted to give this a go. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I freaking love it. It is so good. But I do have some concerns with this. It comes in like this stick. It's like jelly. It literally looks like the milk makeup blush sticks, and it feels really soft. So like it is an oil. Number one, if you don't like oil, you might not like this, but it's very, very lightweight, I think. They also had another version, and it was their unseen version. So that one, can't see it. It's just completely invisible, whereas I got the one that's supposed to be glowy. So keep that in mind, because if you don't like the way it looks with the glow, you can get it in the invisible version as well. So for a sunscreen, this is $44. It does sound a little bit on the pricier end, but I'm not sure how long it's going to last, because I feel like it'll last forever, because I don't even feel like I'm using much product when I apply this, which is my only concern with this. I'm just going to go ahead and show you, like, oh, it glides so nicely and it feels really nice on the skin. I don't even know if you can see how glowy it is, but I'm just going to put it on half my face. So I just rub it around like this. It's so easy to use and it feels really soft on the skin. If you can see now, like, it's glowy. So one thing with this is, like, I feel like you have to go in with your hands in order to make sure that you're covering your entire face and you're not missing anything. That's totally fine. I don't mind that. And it's really easy to like kind of rub in. My concern with this is, you know, with sunscreen, everyone tells you to apply 2 fingers length and then you can apply it to your skin, and that's enough for sun protection. I feel like, is this enough to protect my skin? Like, is it doing anything? Like, I'm concerned that, like, it says SPF 50, but like, did I put enough on to get that coverage? Like, that's where I'm concerned. Like, is it actually enough to give me SPF 50? Because that's the most important thing. That's why I'm wearing sunscreen. So that is my only concern with this. But if it does work the way it says it does, and it gives me SPF 50, I think this is like one of my new favorite products that I've seen in like a couple months. Like, that's how much I love this. I don't know if you can see, but this is the side with just the sunscreen and then without. It does add a really healthy glow to your skin. I think it looks pretty. I do like the glow. I think the glow is really nice, but I guess if you weren't putting on makeup after, you might not want it to be so glowy. I could see how have oily skin, it might look just really shiny, but I think it looks pretty. I think it just looks like a very healthy glow. And I like the way it feels. Like, it's kind of fun to just like apply it. But it's interesting, like, I haven't heard anyone talk about this. And when I looked on the Sephora website, like, it didn't have very many reviews, but a lot of them, people didn't like it. So some things people didn't like was that it felt oily. It isn't oil. It is an oil stick. It says that in the description. The formulation isn't oil. I find it comfortable. Like, I don't find it sticky, heavy, greasy. Like, I find it comfortable. I find lots of other sunscreens to be very heavy. And so for me, this compared to all the other like greasy sunscreens I've tried, like this, I'll take any day. I hate the feeling of that thick sunscreen on my skin, especially if I'm going to be putting on foundation on top of it. It's also water and sweat resistant, which is like really important for me because I like to run outside in the summer. It says it's like a face and body highlighter. I don't know that I would use it for that. To me, it's a sunscreen. That's pretty much all I would use it for. And I don't see myself using this on my body, but it is a nice little compact size. So I think it would be really good for traveling as well. For me, this will be an absolute repurchase. I think this is worth it. I think it's going to last forever. Like, that seems like a lot of products. I'm excited about this. To me, this is like such a win, unless I get proven that this doesn't work as well as it says it does for SPF. That'd be the only reason I wouldn't repurchase it, but this, absolutely love it. All right, let's go into our third product, which is the Makeup Forever Super Boost Skin Tint. So this is perfect because you'll get a chance to see how foundation lays on top of the sunscreen and how it just looks really beautiful. So the Makeup Forever Super Boost Skin Tint, I saw everyone talking about this, everyone raving about this. So I was really curious about this. I got this at the Sephora sale. Let me tell you, I can confirm this is a really nice product. So for me, when it comes to skin tints, I feel like I've been very disappointed lately in some of the skin tints that I've tried. I just find that they're a skin tint, so they're very, very liquidy, which is totally fine. But you would think when a product is meant to be very light coverage in a skin tint, it's not going to settle into any dry skin or fine lines. And the last few that I've tried, not only were they settling into like dry patches, but I felt just like the small pigment that was in them was almost just like sitting on top of my skin. So I wasn't sure what to expect with this one. The first thing I noticed, well, one, it comes in this like really cool squeezy tube, which I thought is kind of cool. But when you go to apply it, I thought it was going to be super runny, but like it is totally a gel-like texture. And I like that. So I find lots of the skin tints, they're so runny, which is totally fine. But I really like that this is like a gel texture. It feels so good on the skin. Again, with some of the skin tints that I've tried, I find them almost oily. Like it does kind of feel like there's something on your skin, which is exactly the opposite of what you want in a skin tint. But this, I immediately, you can tell when you go to blend it in, like it's very, very light coverage. Like it's very light, but that's what we want with a skin tint. Because if I wanted more coverage, then I'm going to go with a foundation. So for a skin tint, I like that this is so sheer because you can always add more, but sometimes you just want that very light coverage. And that's what I'm getting from the skin tint. So love to see that. It's very glowy. It's very radiant. It does have a very like summery smell to it. Blends into your skin in such a nice way. How I was saying how some skin tints really sit on top of your skin. This really becomes one with the skin. If you don't like super glowy skin tints, then you might not like this because you can see it is like so glowy. To me, I love it. I think it looks so good. Especially if you're someone who has dry skin, I think this would look so good on you. Tap in a little bit more with the Beauty Blender just to give a really natural look. I can even tell just like under my eye, it just looks so nice. Cannot tell that I am wearing a skin tint. It looks so one with the skin. Like it's incredible. I have never tried a skin tint like this. Hands down, this is the best skin tint I've ever tried. Now look at my face here with the skin tint and then here without. The coverage is so subtle, but it's just so beautiful. It just kind of takes out a little bit of my redness and it gives me a very fresh face. I just find my skin looks more awake, more alive, more healthy. And that's exactly what I want from a skin tint. I want to be able to go out in the summer and just have a little bit of coverage. This side here, you can really see the redness like on my cheek and then the side with it. It's so minimal, but it's just beautiful. It does say that it's hydrating and plumping and that it is a sheer but buildable skin tint. So you can build it up to about a medium coverage. I just think it's so unique the way this blends into the skin, how it really just looks like your skin. It really is a very unique formula. And like I said before, I don't know if it's the skin tint or if it's the sunscreen, but it's not pilling at all with the Supergoop sunscreen, which for me is such a win. And then here is my skin with my full face done. Look at how radiant, healthy. I just love the way this looks. I think going into summertime, this is going to be the skin tint of the summer. I haven't tried the Milk Makeup one yet. I have it as well, but I haven't had a chance to review it. So I'm curious how that will compare to this. But as of right now, all the skin tints that I've tried, this is my number one. I think in the summer, this is going to slay. Like, I think this is going to be so popular. Absolutely love it. Definitely recommend if you want a good skin tint, especially this summer. Okay, so my next product isn't necessarily a new product, but the shade is new. They just came out with this. So this is the Armani Eye Tint, the liquid eyeshadow. These went viral all over TikTok, and I've been so excited to try these. So this is actually new for me, this entire product. The shade is actually new. They just launched it. And so the shade is 69S. There's also two other shades they came out with, but this is just the one that I have and that I'm going to use. And it is such a pretty color. It's like a shimmery copper shade. I'm just going to give a little swatch here to show you. These are so pretty. They're so pretty and they're so pigmented. Like, look at that. Now, one thing is like, if you're not into eyeshadow or you're like afraid of eyeshadow like me, these are so user-friendly. If you are a beginner with eyeshadow, I actually would recommend these because they are so easy. So first of all, like they have this nice little doe foot, very pigmented, very liquidy. All I do is I just swipe it onto your lid. And listen, you do not have to be perfect. I know it's intimidating because it is really pigmented. I just like swipe it on. It can be sloppy. Just scribble it on there. And then what I do is I take a fluffy brush and all I do is I blend out the edges, like just in your crease, up the brow bone and then out. And honestly, looks so good. It's honestly very effortless. Love it. I just think it's such a nice eyeshadow, so easy to use. And I don't even use an eyeshadow primer and I find the pigment looks so, so good. So don't be afraid of these. They're really easy to use and they're kind of fun too. Because it's liquid, it is kind of scary because it can kind of go everywhere. I like to just let it dry for a second and then kind of just feather out the edges. Doesn't dry really quickly, so it's super easy just to blend out the edges and not have to worry about it drying down. But I can tell, you can kind of feel like it feels wet and now it feels dry and it lasts all day. Like I haven't had any issues with it fading at all. Another thing, the shade range is beautiful. Like they have really wearable shades. I see this one girl, like it's like the only eyeshadow she uses on TikTok. She like raves about these and I totally get why she likes them because like I don't love doing eyeshadow. I'm not the best at it, but these I will absolutely apply, especially when I want just like a pop on my eyelids because it does look so good. So the Armani Eye Tint Liquid Eyeshadow in their new shade 69S. Love it. 10 out of 10. I think it is so pretty. Now, since we're already talking about Armani, I want to talk about their new mascara that they just launched. So apparently it's been a long time since they've launched a mascara or they've never launched a mascara, something like that. So this is like a big deal. This is their new Vertigo Lift Mascara. So this mascara is $42. So it is a luxury mascara. So just keep that in mind. The brush is called an Infinity Loop brush. I've never heard that before. It doesn't look any different than other mascara ones I've personally seen, but I do like this type of wand. But the micro bristles are supposed to grip and separate and curl the lashes. So I'm just going to apply it to one eye so that we can compare it. And also let's build it up so we can see how it looks. I like the formula of this. I don't like super wet formulas and I don't like when they're super dry, but I do prefer it on the drier end than on the wetter end. When it's wet, I just find it's so sloppy and it's really hard to control and it kind of just gets everywhere. This is like a very nice formula. It's a very well-balanced formula. It's wet enough to coat your lashes, but it's not too dry that you feel like nothing's coming off the brush. Another thing that I noticed with this mascara that I love is zero clumps. Like I've tried a lot of mascaras. I feel like most mascaras say they're clump-free mascaras and I've never found that to be the case with like half the mascaras. But this one, I'm putting on another layer now. No clumps at all. I find it's still separating my lashes just as well as with the first coat. So that I really like. Yeah, I think that looks really pretty. Okay, this is with 2 coats. I love the way it looks. Zero clumping, very easily built without any issues. So that's a win. That's the struggle I find with mascaras is when you try and build it, it starts clumping, your lashes start sticking together. Did not find that with this. So I'm very, very pleased to see that. And it does say that it has all day smudge proof wear. So I'm really happy that I've already worn this all day. I love the way this wears. When I tell you, one of my other issues I have with mascara is flaking and getting like raccoon eyes by the end of the day. Like, I don't know. I always end up with mascara under my eyes. I don't ever put mascara on my lower lashes for this exact reason. But even when I just do my top lashes, I always get like those raccoon eyes by the end of the day. This, no flaking, no raccoon eyes, no smudging, nothing. It looks perfect. So for that reason alone, this is like a solid mascara. There's some nice mascaras out there that I like, but almost all of them, by the end of the day, I'll have raccoon eyes. Okay, and here's what it looks like with both my eyes done. I think it looks really good, but what sells it for me is the clump-free, being able to build it and getting no clumps, and then also the fact that it doesn't give me raccoon eyes without being like a waterproof mascara. They call it a smudge proof, but I didn't see anywhere this is waterproof, and I didn't have any issues getting it off my eyes at the end of the day. So for a non-waterproof mascara, I do really like this. I think it hits all the pain points that I have with mascaras. So Armani, very impressed. I like it. But of course, it is kind of a splurge. So I just went ahead and finished up my face makeup so I could show you the next product. And that is the Saie Supersuede Radiant Powder Blush. I am so excited about these. I've already tried one shade, so I'm definitely going to try a different shade with you today so we can see it on the skin. But first, let me swatch these and show you how pretty they are. So this first one's in the shade Mia. This is like a pretty rose shade. I love it. I think this is going to look really pretty on everyone's skin. Such a wearable shade. Same with this next one. This next one is in shade Chow. This is the one I already tried on. I love it. Really, if you like that just got out of the sun look, kind of has like a bronzer, glowy, golden look to it. It's so pretty. Yes, absolutely love it. Such a pretty color. Again, very wearable. I think this would look good on a lot of people. And then the last one, this is in shade Bella. This is in a soft baby pink shade. If you like pink, you'd probably love this. I think this is probably the one shade that might not look as good on every skin tone. It's very, very light. It honestly reminds me of one of the shades from the YSL Beauty collection, their new blurring ones. So I'm curious actually how those two would compare. So these have a radiant finish. They're supposed to be long wearing and they're supposed to be a little blurring as well. It's supposed to be lightweight and give you like a diffused flush of color. It's called a radiant blush powder, and you can see even from the swatches that it does have a very nice radiant reflection. Ooh, it's so hard to pick what shade we should do, but since I did Chow in a short form video, I think I have to pick between these two. I'm just like scared that if I do this soft pink, in case it doesn't look good on my skin tone, that it won't do the blush justice. So I'm going to try Mia because I think this is going to look really pretty on anyone who wears it. Really pretty rose shade. I feel like powder blushes have like had a comeback this year. YSL Beauty came out with theirs. I feel like Rare Beauty, even Kylie Cosmetics, I think as well. And now Saie has their baked powder blushes. So I don't know. Powder blush is coming back. So I'm just going to go in very light-handed because I did already learn this the hard way that they actually are quite pigmented and they don't look like it, but I found that it really did build quickly. So always suggest going in very light-handed. See, that literally looked like there was nothing on my brush. I was like, okay, you're being way too conservative, but you can already see it. So pretty. It says diffused flush of color. Diffused flush of color. Okay. Diffused flush of color. Okay. I love this. That looks so nice. Again, it's not overwhelming. It's not super intense. I think that it can build up to that because when I tried this shade, like I went way overboard and it was like out of nowhere. So intense, but this looks really beautiful. It does give you that flush of color if that's what you want. Stunning. So pretty. And you can see like how radiant it looks on the skin. Not shiny. It just has that radiance to it, which is really, really nice. Love. Okay, let me do the other side of the cheek. When I went to the Sephora website, this shade specifically was sold out. So it must be one of their most popular ones. And I understand why. It's very wearable. I think it would look good on a lot of skin tones as well. Really pretty. Very effortless, easy to use. It does have that blurring effect that it doesn't look like powder on my skin. Okay, now you can really see that pigment build. Even as I build it, it doesn't look like powder on my skin. That is like really important to me because that's one of those things with powdered products is I do normally have drier skin. So you put powder on dry skin, really doesn't play well. This does look really beautiful. It doesn't look patchy. It laid really, really nicely on my skin. So I'm very pleased with that. Perfect everyday shade. Love it. I really like that. I think powder blushes are really hard to get right. I'm not a huge powder blush girly because I find that they never really look good on my dry skin, but I love the way this looks. If you do have drier skin, these are definitely dry skin friendly. I would definitely buy this again. I really like the way this looks on my skin. All right, that leads us into our last product, and that is the NYX Cosmetics Liquid IV. So I've seen people try these on. Everyone seems to really like them. I already know how I feel about them, so I'm excited to show you. I actually have quite a few shades here. Should we swatch them? I'll give them a swatch for you just so you can see these. So these are a hydrating gloss serum. I personally love everything I just heard. That sounds absolutely up my alley. And I think that's why everyone seems to really like these. And I love that it's from an affordable beauty brand. I absolutely love NYX Cosmetics. So let's go ahead and swatch these. Oh no. Oh wait, found it. Okay, I found it. The first one is shade Hydra Honey. Oh, you can just see from the way that swipes on, color payoff is really, really nice. Like one swipe, very pigmented, very pretty. Okay, so that was in Hydra Honey. So the next one is called Drippin' in Rose. Pretty, really pretty. Really, really nice neutral shades, at least the ones I have. I just think like the pigment, incredible. Okay, and then the next one is Mocha Me Wet. We're gonna start getting darker. So, oh, pretty. I love these 3 shades. These 3, like I'll wear these all day. The perfect nudes for me. Love, really pretty. Okay, then these next 2 aren't as everyday like. This is Mauve and Moist. Ooh, yes. Really pretty, just not maybe a summer shade. Definitely what I'd wear in the fall and winter, I think. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. And then again, same with this one. This is Cranberry Splash. I love me a red, but I just don't feel red in the summer. This is definitely going to take me into fall and Christmas time. Gorgeous. This is a really pretty shade of red. And you can see it for yourself. One swipe. Look at the color. Ah, what color should I try on? I think I'm gonna go with the second one here. Which one was that? Drippin' in Rose. I think we're gonna go with that one. Okay, so let's just see. One swipe. Gorge. These smell kind of like how the Makeup Forever skin tint smells. It's like almost coconutty. It feels like water on your skin. I guess that's the best way for me to describe it. The most important thing, like very comfortable. The formula is just lovely. It is so comfortable, very hydrating, juicy gorgeousness. And I just love how glossy it is. I love that these are getting the appreciation online that they deserve. I think NYX crushed it with these. These are definitely going to be popular this summer. I think how hydrating and glossy and comfortable they are. They absolutely nailed it. I love these. Absolutely love. All right, that wraps up all the recent makeup launches that I've tried lately. I'm very impressed with so many of these products. They were all mostly wins for me. Definitely would repurchase majority of these. I just think my makeup looks so pretty. I love it. So gorgeous, so glowy, perfect for summer. If you've tried any of these or you have something new that you want me to try out, please let me know. I would love to review it for you. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.